Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? It's a early Monday. We're coming off just a fresh, hot weekend of sports. Even a little wrestling was in that thing. We had, of course, NFL Sunday. We had a lot of basketball every day with a World Series game. We had MMA. A lot of things have been settled this past weekend, but I want to come with three hot stories. What I think is just the biggest three uh takeaways I have from the weekend. Number one, what the hell is going on with Russell Wilson? How? Like, okay. Let's start from the beginning, right? So well, I'll say like I don't spend thousands. Oh, you spend hundreds. As a budding degenerate gambler, working my way up there, I want to blow thousands. I'm just scared. As a budding degenerate gambler, specifically when it comes to DFS, daily fantasy sports. If any of y'all have ever dealt with daily fantasy sports, you know you have to keep in tune with individual players. So you it's not just betting a team, you know what I mean? It ain't just Broncos versus um the Chargers, for instance. It ain't just which one is gonna be the better outcome between those two things. When you're dealing with daily fantasy sports, you're picking who individually, just not offensive line, what quarterback is going to have the most points, what two running backs is going to have the most points out of all these running backs, out of all these people. Yesterday, I believe the top running back was shit, I don't even remember. It wasn't anybody. It was Jamal Williams, who was a backup running back on the Lions. This dude had two touchdowns. So football is actually getting to the point where it's so diverse as far as who's scoring. It's even worse than um baseball, whereas home runs and it's home run anybody home run. Bryce Harper, who hit a home run to go to the World Series, he went through a string of games where he didn't have a damn hit. So that's from 0 points to 40 points, or 18 points, or 20 points, whatever one home run gets you. I don't want to digress too much. You get what I mean? So over the last 2 years, especially last two seasons, I've been looking at Seattle defense, and I was specifically targeting anybody that plays Seattle, any passer that was anywhere decent that was playing Seattle for the last 2 years. I made sure to go to them and draft this quarterback because they were ass. They had no running backs, interchangeable. I could tell it's at least like eight of them in 3 years. You can include this one. It's like eight, nine running backs. Ass defense, middle of the road, run defense, more toward the ass end. You had Russell Wilson, and you had two wide receivers, and you had the I forget what the tight end. Is a tight end decent? No, he's good now. It's Noah Font. The tight end before was good though. Disley or whatever. Last year, DK Metcalf was losing his mind. He was fighting every game. Lockett was okay. There's nobody else, right? So to me, it just felt like they just had a below average team in a division where everybody else was just a lot better. The Cardinals was a lot better the last 2 years than they are this year. The 49ers kind of like the same. I wouldn't say they're as good. The Rams won the fucking Super Bowl. But they were also good the last year and the year before that because they went to the Super Bowl and they lost to Brady. So they've been Super Bowl caliber this whole time, while Seattle's been middling. And I'm giving you a backstory so we can get to where we are now, right? So you get to this year, in the whole division, it's pretty average. Even the Rams, oh, 49ers, they have an injury to John McCaffrey, but because Jimmy Garoppolo is still a quarterback. Um, Seattle is and who else? The Cardinals, So it's a totally even different division. But then you get to the Broncos, who's been this whole time too, and they're still that way. But I expected Russell Wilson to elevate them. Now there've been some games. Let's look up his stats real quick. I don't want to talk. I don't want to go too crazy. And the only reason I'm actually talking about Russell Wilson is because I feel like he's been held as King Corny for like years now, but now it's like mainstream corny. So where like everybody's, even the media, calling him corny, media members calling him corny. Like this is Russell Wilson could slap the shit out of somebody. Like, uh, you guys get back to it, right? So I want to look at his stats, right? So 252, 188, 274, 237, 184, 219, 340. He's only had one 300-yard passing game. That was against Seattle beginning of the season. He's had 6 touchdowns and 4 intercepts. Okay. Is First of all, oh man. All right. I just found out what the wow. I just found what the reason is. So I don't think any of y'all gonna be too surprised. The reason why Russell Wilson is ass, he is ass. I'm a demon official. Then we're gonna move on to the next topic. His middle name is Carrington. Russell Carrington Wilson. That's that's definitely gonna be in the subject. Let's move on. Oh, man, Carrot. Yeah. All right. Sorry. The Lakers. This is my second topic. The Lakers. Want to hit you with a three-round burst here. The Lakers got their first win last night, right? So the Lakers get their first win off of this is the first game I believe that Russell Wilson comes out the bench, still plays 32 minutes, which is perfect. But I want to discuss um something I discussed in a previous video, and let me Google it real quick. Um, of all time, and I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm looking at something. I don't look at advanced stats really at all, or I don't look at it a lot. Right? There's a couple things that catch my eye, and I think, okay, I think that's very useful. One of those things I think is very useful because it's obvious is usage. 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 Let's get an official definition. Let's get official definition. It's an estimate of the percentage the team plays used. My alarm, another alarm going off. I got 8 of them. It's an estimate of the percentage of team plays used by a player while he's on the floor. Usage rates can be calculated with how possession ends, field goal, free throw attempt, or turnover. It basically means however much this person, the ball's going through this person, whether it's a shot, it's an assist, that person give an assist to a made shot. This person makes the shot. It's a free throw, and the ball is in this person. All of these things matter. You get what I'm getting at. Now you're about to see with the list I'm gonna read off to the top 7 usage players in NBA history. Now the first one is a little skewed because he hasn't played many games, but everything has been 100% through him until this year, and that's Joel Embiid. In comparison, he's only played 334 games. Michael Jordan played 1,072 games. So these are two totally different type of things that I'm gonna say here. So Joel Embiid is first. There's also some um new players, not new, yeah, well, younger players that are on this list. They're mostly at the bottom, just because of how they've been used in the last 2 years. I would say Donovan Mitchell, for instance, on a top 20 list. Donovan Mitchell is on this list. Number two is Michael Jordan. I just wanted to be clear of how this list is constructed because there's a lot of lists you can see where somebody's trash is third or second, but somebody who's supposed to be good, but the person is trying to diss that person and he's below that person. Okay. Michael Jordan, Russell Westbrook, Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, and LeBron James. In the history of the NBA, yeah, and you know when I name these players, what I mean by what use you know what usage mean when I say Jordan, Westbrook, Kobe, Iverson, and LeBron. That's usage. James Harden is also on this list. That's usage, right? We've seen how Russell Westbrook has played for 13 years straight with or without another superstar on his team. The only time that was tweaked was in Houston because Houston had something totally different where they had fucking Robin Covington as a center. Robert Covington as their center. Robert Covington is an eighth man on another team right now. And he was the starting center, the Houston Rockets. And they traded Capella for this. That lets you know about the Rockets. But we all, even if you brought, even if I just show you usage, you know what it mean. I say the way Russell Westbrook plays, do you think he should be on the same team with LeBron? Because this is not year 2 or 3. In year fucking 5 or 6, Westbrook didn't adjust his game when he had Durant and Harden on his team. He had the same game. So you think 10 years after that, he can all of a sudden play off ball? He's never been a good jump shooter, except in Houston. I bet you had to getting us some motherfucking shots. He's never been a good jump shooter. My point is, who the fuck thought that was gonna be a good fit for LeBron and Westbrook to be on the same floor together? Because you could say let Westbrook run the thing, let Westbrook run point, and let LeBron play off ball because LeBron got a little he been wanting a little bit more. That's a better out than having Westbrook do it. But why would you have the greatest passer of all time, the greatest vision of all time, playing off the fucking ball? That just don't make no sense. So it has always made sense to me because this is what I thought they was gonna do. Bruh, when I tell you I'm no NBA genius, I don't know none of these plays they're running. These plays is in Swahili to me. But I would figure that they would try to figure out a way for Westbrook and LeBron to play together in crunch time because you want the best players ever because they're gonna make the best decisions. They're gonna make the smartest decisions, the highest IQ decisions. So I figured they would try to find a way for them to be on the floor for at least a good 6 minutes in the fourth quarter at the end. You know the Warriors got their death lineup or whatever it was. I thought they would figure that out. Maybe you get a wing that can really hit the three, that can really try to spread things. And I don't know. They can figure that out. But they never did that. They kept these dudes on the floor at the same time together. Two dudes who've always had the ball in their hands all the time. And Westbrook is as north to south as you get. So unless we got some cutting and driving and penetrating and LeBron is they're not even running no plays like that. Again, I know nothing about basketball. But if AD don't want to run the five, he won't be in a jumper position and having Westbrook cut and to the basket, let with some wings find out for three. I don't know how it go, but figure it out. They get paid a lot of money. Figure it out. But my point is, they get they get their first win of the season. Westbrook comes off the bench. They somewhat have is staggered minutes with LeBron, which he needs. I still don't like because I looked up their minutes. I still don't like LeBron playing 35 minutes. Why does he have to do this? AD played 37. I don't care. He should be 37 or 40 every fucking night. Westbrook played 32 minutes. I don't like that. Beverly only played 21. Raise that up. None played 3. Figure this out. LeBron's played 35 minutes still, dog. 35 minutes still. This is nuts. This is nuts. So that's my second burst. I the Lakers get their first win. Um I mean the Nuggets is they're on a fucking back to back to back. Obviously somebody would they would lose at some point. They played 4 games in like fucking 3 days. Uh so good win. Figure it out. You have the two best passers in of the last you got two of the best passers of the generation. You got a dude that averaged a triple double for 3 years. Coming off the bench is still giving you 18, 8, and 8. Figure it out. LeBron, the the program you on, give it to Davis. Third burst. Let's get to the UFC. Um, so this UFC weekend, I wanted to talk about the uh the circumstances of these UFC main events in all of these fights, but mostly the main events and the co-main events that have ended in bad injury, in serious injury, whether the fighter is injured prior, TJ Dillashaw, whether the fighter was injured in the cage. I believe Calvin Cater. Let me look that up. I believe Calvin Cater didn't have a prior knee injury. It's pretty nasty. I had to turn away. Yeah, his knee. Yeah, his knee. Yeah, that's nasty. Um, let's discuss this, right? So there've been a string of main events. There've been a string of events where fighters have come in with injuries, and also I want to talk about the brutality and the. It's time to get a little bit more professional here. I don't know if you just need to add more fights on the card and tighten up the time in between, just so you can have more leeway to just in case a fight fuck up. But we can't have guys, TJ Dillashaw, fighting with their shoulder out of place against another trained killer on an 8 fight win streak in the bantamweight division. Let me tell you how the bantamweight division is. The bitch is tough. And you let the fight go for like multiple rounds. What the hell is going on in the UFC? First of all, uh, are they not commissions? Are they not are they not doctors in the audience that see a dude with a separated shoulder and it keeps popping out of place? Um, what's this cat man? He blew his knee out and he continued to fight. Let me pull up the damn card. Was it UFC fight night? Yeah, it was fight night. Black nigga. It's the nigga that was going at it with Cormier. What's this nigga name? Oh, let me find the call real quick. My bad. Y'all should have already had the card up. I think there's just the level of brutality here the UFC is doing. It's something I don't get, right? Because I believe that the UFC is very professional and it is the pinnacle of the sport and it is the best representation of the last what 30 years of how this shit has been look it's supposed to look. Why can't I fight the card? Jesus Christ. Uh it's the pinnacle. But yo, we can't have dudes fighting with blown out knees. What? We can't have dudes fighting with their shoulder slipping in and out of place with Aljamain Sterling lurking on him, punching the shit out of him. He was literally disabled. He's literally handicapped. How could like I understand as Aljamain's like it's his job. Dog, how could you see somebody's shoulder be separated and just beating up a man? It's not like it's injured, like it's the shoulder's just kind of hurting, but it's still in place. It just hurt. And he's attacking it to get it. It's already the only thing he can do is slide off the bone. Then it's free. I'm really not understanding this when it comes to this animalistic uh part of UFC where they're just not stopping the fights. A Phil Hawes, he blew his knee out, and then he had to get KO'd after that. He got put to sleep. The fight should have stopped when he blew his knee out. Nigga, his knee got blown out. That's when you stop the fight. You don't let him keep fighting because he can still stand on a blown out knee. This nigga ain't a buffalo. That's all adrenaline. Nigga, he ain't a deer. You get him some help. This ain't the Sahara. You get him some help. He got knocked out after that shit. So again, I don't know, I love the UFC. The violence is delicious. But when you got a wounded animal out there, this ain't like I said, he didn't have a hurt knee. He have a red knee. He just wasn't limping. After the rounds, he could still walk. This shit blew out. TJ Dillashaw shoulder blew out weeks ago, apparently. So the Phil Hall situation different from Dillashaw, obviously, but Dillashaw had a prior situation. But they're both the same in a cage. Let's get some fucking professionalism here, UFC. Let's stop the fights when the dudes are injured. Paul Felton say, "Oh, that leg is tore up." No, the knee blew out. With TJ Dillashaw situation, this is a continuous circle, and this is the circle. He only fought because he wanted to get show money. He's been out 2, 3 years, however long he's been out, between suspension and he was suspended. He fought and he had to and he got injured. He had to sit. Got to make some money. He'd sit again. He gonna be out another year with the shoulder. After he fix the shoulder, he gonna be out another 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year. He wanted to fight because they needed the money. The only reason these cats come in sick, oh, I had the fucking the Bolivian crab flu yesterday. Oh, I had a cut right here. Well, they need the show money. Guys that are and I say this, and football is a bad example because these football motherfuckers is uh getting decapitated and going back on the field. So that's a little different. These guys are fighting one on one with a motherfucker. Even the quarterback feels like I got my offense. Some niggas is gonna block for me at least. They fight one on one. So I would really like the UFC to stop the fights when guys are injured. There's a difference between being hurt and injured. In the first round, I know it was in like 30 seconds. But you gotta stop the fucking fight in 30 seconds. TJ Dillashaw would have had a much better out if his shoulder went out and nobody said nothing and it was a freak accident and we went on to the main event. Because what the fuck are you gonna do? All that happened is Aljamain Sterling had to beat up on a man with one arm, and the man with one arm had to get fucked up to get his show money because he wasn't gonna win. They wasn't gonna win. There wasn't a knockout blow. There wasn't none of that coming. So that's why I really don't understand how the fight went past. The first round is egregious. Popping his shoulder back into place, nigga, to do what? When it popped out again, it should have came out. It should have stopped. Cause I remember when the second started, he was doing that with his shoulder. He was warming up his shoulder. I'm like, oh shit, they popped this nigga's shoulder into place. He's good. It came out again. I said, oh no, please stop it again. I thought he was like Mel Gibson. So that's the third burst, man. I'm gonna come with this as much as I can. I hope y'all enjoy. It's gonna go up obviously on the YouTubes. Like, subscribe, hit that like button. Like, put me in the algorithm. It's free. Subscribing is free. That's 3 round burst. Holler.